Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Socorro Estrada. I'm Chief of Digital Media at River Plate, Argentinian most important football club. And I'm here with Lucas Casenave. He is the manager of digital content and digital marketing at the club. And Matias Apartin, head of sport partnerships from Meta. We are here to talk about how we cope with COVID pandemic in our digital ecosystem and tell you how we could monetize our very engaged fan base. Let me check if this is working. Well, we will start showing you a video that talks about our club to introduce you to what River means in Argentina and the rest of the world. River has 120 years of history. We choose to show you this video that conveys the essence of our DNA. River Plate is one of the most relevant sports institutions in the region and is the most important football club in Argentina. We have had very important, these are our accomplishments. We have had many important football players and also some other very important athletes known in the world, as you can see in these pictures. Our stadium, the Monumental, is iconic in our country. It was the stadium where the final match of the 1978 World Championship was played, and Argentina won its first World Championship there. In 2020, we started a process of improving its pitch. It looks like this now. And this month, we're starting a new phase of the transformation of the stadium. It will look like this in 2023, becoming the biggest stadium in Latin America with room for 81,000 fans. We also have a foundation that supports the development and education of thousands of boys and girls on a daily basis. More than 8,000 athletes that practice sports in our club daily, and 1,700 students that study at the club in different levels, since we have from school, from kindergarten to university. And we also have a very strong digital ecosystem, as you can see. As you know, in recent years, all institutions have been challenged by this new way of communication, a shift from traditional communication to a model of communication that is almost 100% digital, from directed and controlled communication to a more anarchic and always-on communication. This is why since 2013, our club has worked hard to build a solid digital communication ecosystem. Football is a phenomenon that goes beyond social classes, age ranges, geographical limited. Therefore, our audience range that must be taken into account when delivering content is very wide, as you can see in the picture. To design our digital strategy, we divided our audiences into primary, secondary, and third level audience. The primary ones, that you can see, are the local fans, foreign fans, sport enthusiasts, and club members. The secondary audiences are those audiences focused on certain specific communication at specific times or on certain topics. And there's a third level audience that is also looking to our digital content, but must be taken into account, but doesn't dialogue with us on social media. For example, organization authorities or some sponsors. For the last 8, well, this is our. For the last 8 years, River has been committed to having a relevant presence for these audiences, looking for them where they are. That means social media, the web, and new digital spaces. In social media, we have very important channels in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. As you can see, well, there's the number of followers, and we have an average monthly engagement of 40 million interactions. That's a lot in our country. We're first in the ranking of our country and second in the region behind Flamengo. Within these channels, we deploy all narrative capabilities, generating high-value content that allow us to dialogue with the audience, forge a positive reputation for our club, and capture the attention of new audiences. This day-to-day work manages to position our social media channels as entry channels towards our digital ecosystem. To achieve high-value content, the club has an experienced work team, there you can see. This was a very important cultural change for the club, that today understand that we have to invest in this team to have relevant content, quality content to reach our audiences. In addition to this first line, we also have our institutional website, our official app, our segmented performance campaigns, our marketing automation capabilities, thus completing a suite of low-friction channels for our primary audiences. At this second level, we develop those channels so that users make specific conversions at different moments in their life cycle for their benefit and the benefit of the club. That means purchasing tickets, registering for events, requesting services, buying jersey, and other things, and so on. our success in generating audiences at entry levels allow us to be good directing users towards these conversion channels. And all that information is collected in our official database, which also gives us a lot of opportunities to develop new products to make this conversion. Well, these are all our channels and all the social media accounts that we have. This is a typical routine of a match day or what we publish in the different social media accounts. Today we proudly say that we have succeeded in creating this digital ecosystem, and that what we thought we should do 8 years ago was achieved. As you can see in this image, we're now #1 in Argentina and doing very well in the region. But that was our successful ecosystem once had to deal with COVID crisis and no content generation. So Lucas now is going to talk about what we did when COVID pandemic started and the lockdown started.
Well, as Socorro said...
Do you need this?
Yes, please. All this strategy, one day, as happened all around the world, is stopped because a global pandemic arrived, and the question for everyone was how we deal with that, how we solve it, and all our actives, our assets, how we manage it now. So, in Argentina specifically, we had most of them say that was the longest lockdown around the world and the fastest one. Some data, there were 8 months of total and strict lockdown. The club was closed for 12 months. There were 5 months without any type of activity or football. And when football resumed, there were more than 50 games without public in the stadium. And the club income, where ticketing has a very strong share, it was heavily and deeply bounded by the lack of activity. Sports and social activities that provide secondary income were all suspended. This is some image that show us, but however, our fans were still there, even more than other times. They are still needing the relationship, the engagement. So the question was, what did we do? How should we adapt from digital to this new scenario? 2 years before, we had started our digital transformation process. So when pandemic reached us, we had our partners and fans touchpoints already prepared for a self-developed platform called River ID. It's our platform where all the interactions with our fans have memberships and also ticketing. And because, as Socorro said before, we have the strategy to centralize our own data, and that's what later it showed us how to contact and to have a relationship with our fans, with our users, to know them and to show them what we can offer to them, and also giving them a good user experience, a good attention, and that's maybe the center of all it. Have a good relationship with our fans, with our members. They need us. They are begging us to buy the jersey. We just need to show them the way, and having our own platform, our own strategy, our own data is the main central of this. For this platform, we unified the way of interacting with the club. We digitalized collections and improved the experience of those who interact with the club. And maybe it could seem easy for any new company nowadays, but for a club in Latin America, it was like a real challenge. We also, this let us do some strategy with marketing automation. We can contact our fans in platforms, and as you can see by WhatsApp, text, email, it let us have the contact. And what I'm going to talk right now is about one of the main campaigns that's why we are here. Today, any fan in the world can become a real member in minutes with a fully digital experience. And the club's more than 200,000 members can enjoy a digital ticketing experience, field pitch reservations, registration for activities, among other services. As I said, we carry out a marketing automation strategy to be able to communicate one-to-one with each of the fans and members of the club to keep them informed of the digital gradual opening of sports activities and professional football matches. We even challenged our dynamics of content generation as we did not have the main attraction, football league activity. We challenged our creative limits and started generating content and streams that will allow us to sustain our high engagement levels. We also had a big problem, the commercial contracts, that all of them, they have ticketing, they have the presence on the jersey, they have all the assets that we couldn't show them. So we were able to respond to these contractual obligations with business partners and carry out timeless creative actions. And in this case, right now, you can see an activation we built together with Adidas, in which our fans selected, after a long process through Facebook and Instagram and a digital-owned platform with data recollection, their favorite jersey in club history. And this is an example, but it's a lot of engagement, interaction around an organic interaction around a brand and a club. And you know that the brand of its own wouldn't be able to do it, but when we come and when we get an organic relationship and a good way of showing and telling, these things like could happen. So, and without a doubt, one of the most relevant actions that we highlighted in this process was the first full digital campaign to generate new members in the history of the club. We were prepared because we have our own platform, because we know our fans, because we know how to reach them, and we had a full user experience where a membership around anyone around the world can successfully become a member of the club. During the pandemic, we dared to dream of a creative campaign that really yields tangible results for our club in such a difficult moment with a great loss of income, and we made it. The campaign started with a clear and direct concept. A main spot was launched on Facebook and Instagram. We didn't have any tangible assets to offer to our members. We couldn't take them to the stadiums, we couldn't take them to the seats. The only thing we can give them was the passion. So that's the main concept of this campaign that you will see now. You can become a member anytime, in any place, even in a pandemic. We didn't want to base our campaign in asking for help, because maybe some of the clubs were really needed, because without income you cannot survive. And also we didn't want to show or to base in dramatism, like the world was already had enough drama by those days. So what we did is this main spot first. Right now.
Ya nacen siendo hinchas. Y a otros, tarde o temprano, nos termina llegando. No tiene mucha explicación. Es algo que se siente, que se vive, que se lleva en la piel. Pero, ¿cuándo sentís que estás para más? ¿Cuándo te llega ese momento de ser socio? ¿Es algo que se da naturalmente? ¿O es algo sobrenatural? ¿Hay un muñeco interior que un día te palmea el corazón y te manda a la cancha? A lo mejor el clic se da después de ver 900 veces lo mismo. O tal vez se da con algo que nunca habías visto antes. ¿Y si ese momento te agarra lejos del Monumental? ¿Y si ese momento es hoy? Pensalo.
As you can see, that it was a really sympathetic spot where we wanted to do and to offer just what we could offer. It was just that, the passion and becoming or being part of something. With the participation of Enzo Francescoli, that is one of our emblematic and historical players, the spot was really well received by our audiences and generate excellent organic distribution in our social networks. In a second stage, we took advantage of all capabilities that Facebook and Instagram offer us to design campaigns, which allowed us a very sophisticated scope based on the creation of customized audiences, geographic segmentation, interests, pixels, and all its supports and experience to reach our fans and start writing a conversion story that has already become a work standard in the area. So all of this was possible because we built before a strong digital strategy, because we knew our fans and because we knew that the experience and the user experience from 0 to 100 or to 10 was successfully complete. In 1 month, we got 3,100 new members, 17,000 new registered users, and an estimated revenue of $1 million based in a customer lifetime value, all in a fully digital experience. But now, this campaign still keeps and still reaches at this moment where, to the date, the campaign has generated more than 80,000. I have some trouble with the numbers and the Spanish. 85,000, sorry. Registrations of new members in a fully digital experience. As a reference, only in the last months, we generate 20,000 new members. This represents, as you see, a large unforeseen income source of millions of dollars in a club. It all started in pandemic, and it still reaches nowadays. And also, the campaign, the organic reach of the campaign could change an idea that all fans had, that the memberships of River were closed because they had full capacity. And having all this organic reach made us still have, at this moment, this capacity that producing millions of dollars for the club. This represents a great lesson for us, that even in the most complex and thought moments, there is always space to work on innovation, and that technology is an endless source of possibilities for all us, for the world clubs football. But, well, now I would like to leave you with Matías Apartin, representing Meta, that is one of our most important partners in technology.
Thank you so much, Lucas. Thank you so much, Socorro. Hi all. As Lucas mentioned, I'm Matías, Head of Sports Partnership for LATAM South Cone at Meta. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thanks, Soccerex, for the invitation. And last but not least, thanks, Lucas, and thanks, Socorro, for the opportunity to be part of this amazing project. I want to size this last minutes. I'm going to be brief, just to give you a glimpse of how we work with sports entities at Meta and how we are not only taking their game on our platforms to the next level, but also tying that to tangible business results, which is, of course, super important for our partners, but it's at the same time crucial for us, as you can imagine. So we like to think that we are the world's largest stadium. When I say we, I mean the family of apps that we represent, which is Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. And this is because we have 2.8 billion users active every day on our platforms, and that means 3.5 million users every month. And sports, as you can imagine, is at the heart, it's at the epicenter of all of this. And this is because it ties directly to the mission of our company, right? It brings people together, it connects people, it's what we do, and it's inherent to the company's mission. We have 70 million sports fans in Facebook alone, active every day, and 40 million fans on Instagram, again, every day. And how we work with the sports entities to connect them with those audiences. Basically, we work with the main stakeholders, teams, leagues, media, athletes, brands. And what we try to do is to help them develop the audience, help them nurture those audiences, build strong communities, strong bonds with them, get them close to their content, and in that way we are then able to leverage that bonds to create business results. That is the main thing that we try to do, and that this is what Socorro and Lucas just mentioned, that they did also, I mean, with their own data, plus the data we were able to provide with the audiences that they create on our platforms. So that, in a nutshell and very briefly, is what we try to accomplish here. And then you may ask how you do this, how do you achieve this, and basically a very important part of the answer is video, right? And you can imagine, video is exploding in our platforms. I mean, long video, short video, all sorts of video. And we are equipped, we have the right services with the right platforms to be able to tackle the most important forms of consumption that we see in our platforms, that are the on-the-go consumption and the intentional consumption. These are very different, as you can imagine. On the go, it's reels, stories, feed. Maybe you are waiting for an elevator and you are browsing your phone. You are not very deeply engaged in that experience, but it's very significant and it helps discovery. But then a completely different type of experience. You're at home, at the couch, maybe after work, and then you see a full game or highlights or you name it. But it's it's the same user, a different moment, and we build and we focus on providing the right tools to serve both, and also to connect experience in a seamless way so that users can move from one experience to the other, right? And this is what we try to do with our services, and this is across all the family of apps that we have right now. So the next question is, we work heavily on this, we work on programming, we work on content with our partners, we try to leverage and to create those communities and to forge strong bonds, but then how we monetize. And you probably already know this, but I'm gonna give you again a quick glimpse about it. The first piece, and I want to reinforce this, everything starts with content strategy and with the development of the audience, but then we can move into monetization, right? And one of the most important pillars is ad monetization. Then we have commerce and conversion and sponsorship. When we talk about ads monetization, we refer about that you put the content in our platforms, and then we, Meta, insert ads there. It can be pre-roll, mid-roll, or post-roll, and basically you get a share for that, for that revenue that is generated with those videos. And this is amazing because it's already giving millions of dollars to a lot of our partners, but it's also really scalable because we are taking care of most of the operation, right? You just need to put the videos there and maintain and keep your audience entertained, and we make sure that you get your share for what is being generated there. There are more ways of monetizing inside of the platform that I'm going to tell you about, but of course, feel free to explore. If you want to connect later, I can give you more information, but I don't want to bore you with a lot of technical data. So this is one of the most important pillars. The other one is commerce and conversion, and here lies the case that we developed with River, of course. You have tickets, you have a subscription offering, you have team kits, merchandise that you want to sell, or content. I mean, we have the right tools to connect you with directly to the consumer, right? That can be inside of the platform, so you can sell through Instagram, through Facebook, directly and close the operation in the platform. For example, we have fan subscription, which is basically a subscription offering inside of a Facebook page where you can give users premium content, of course, in exchange of payment. Then we have paid online events, which is our version of pay-per-view, which is also working already on Facebook. And then we can support any off-platform, meaning you have a site, you have a store, any platform that you have that where you want to drive conversions, we can help you drive conversions in those services as well. So I think we have a very comprehensive suite of products to help you convert and get direct to consumer, which is very important. And of course, as Lucas and Socorro mentioned, we have also the tools to mix that with your own data and to do something very, very personalized and customized for your audience. And then the last pillar, and not least again, is generate revenue by selling sponsorships. Our platforms, Facebook and Instagram, offer an enormous canvas, a big real estate of material that you can package and sell to your sponsor, right? And this is also something that is exploding lately on Facebook and Instagram mainly, okay? So this is another big area of revenue for our partners. So just to recap really, really quick, we have monetization for related to ads happening on the platform, monetization related to commerce and conversion, and monetization related to branded content or sponsorships. So this is what we do now, create, nurture audiences, and leverage on those audiences to achieve business results with these solutions. Then, I'm looking a little bit into the future. It's critical for us, and what makes a real difference for us is sharing, you know, and to make this something that makes you connect with other people, and despite the physical distance. And for us, that is what the metaverse means right now, right? It's a new opportunity of connecting with sports, connecting with brands, and to connect with others mainly, generating experiences that we don't have today. So, very important thing to mention, this is not a reality today. It's about the future, it's about where we are going. But again, I think it's really important for me to give you our vision, despite that we are not there yet, right? For us, the metaverse means virtual 3D spaces where we're going to be able to share and connect in immersive experiences with others, and where sports is going to have a key stake. And this is because of the power of sports to connect people, right? Immersion, we mean immersive to those experiences that are beyond the screen, right? Right now, everything that we do online is basically screen-based, and we are thinking of an experience that transcends that situation. Continuity and spaces of spaces and goods. Well, today we have different apps, different games, different webs, but they all work as not connected universes. And in the future, we think that you'll be able to move seamlessly between all of these, maintaining or keeping the same experience. And this applies also for goods. And let me show this with an example. For example, if I buy a skin from my gaming avatar, and then I move from one app to the other, I should be able to keep that good from one app to the other, and this is not possible today. And this is the kind of continuity that we imagine in the metaverse, and it's going to be key for brands, of course, and for clubs and for leagues to position their digital products, right? And then the last one is presence. It's not going to be more time of us. It's not going to be consuming more time. It's about having better quality time, right? To be able to connect with others in more meaningful experiences than the ones we have today, and to breach the physical distance that today is a blocker. So again, this is a vision. This is not ready yet, and of course, it's way beyond way beyond Meta. It includes many other companies, but I want to share the opportunities that are huge that we see specifically for the sports arena. Also, again, daydreaming a little bit with you here. I would like to show you a little bit more, and specifically putting the emphasis in these opportunities that we see. For example, imagine a world where brands are going to be able to sell digital goods, for example, for the avatars, like skins, like shoes, like T-shirts. Imagine a world where athletes are going to be able to sell NFTs, where people are going to be able to display in their virtual homes. Again, imagine a world where athletes or musicians are be able to sell NFTs that provide access to to green rooms, or to backstage, or special experiences that can only be unlocked through those NFTs, and sell merchandise and other stuff. So as you see, we imagine a world that is going to be very important, a very big canvas, again, for brands, for clubs, for leagues, and for the whole sports ecosystem. Again, and just to finish, this is my last slide. The metaverse that we imagine is not only VR, it's not only virtual reality, it's a lot more than that, and it's going to connect with the surfaces and the products that we know today. And this is something that we are very careful of in the way that we are thinking this. This means that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, all of the apps that we have today are going to connect somehow with the metaverse, and this is why we need to start building for that metaverse from these apps. For example, the groups and the communities that we already have on Facebook and Instagram are going to be critical, and probably translate then to metaverse groups or to other situations in the metaverse. The conversations that we have now in Messenger and WhatsApp, again, are going probably to translate into conversations in virtual environments or in rooms that today don't exist as such, but they're going to be moving in that way. And the other thing that we already have that is also connected to the metaverse is AR, right? We already have the filters and a lot of developments that are already working in our apps, that we think that this is something that is going to also continue in the metaverse and have some sort of connection with what we are seeing for this on the future. But well, I don't want to bore you anymore. Please feel free to reach out. Let's connect. We see a lot of opportunities coming, and the best for all of you in this new world. Thank you so much.